Now on Iran, US President Donald Trump says that they are doing very well on the war front and they will continue to do well because he believes that America has the greatest military in the world, and there has been a tremendous threat that Iran had for US because they have been killing the American citizens, and also saying that if they didn't terminate the worst deal ever made, because he also mentions former President Obama, where he calls it as a Obama nuclear deal, where he believes that America previously had given everything to Iran to build a nuclear weapon. Listen in.
We're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15. And we're going to continue to do well. We have the greatest military in the world by far. And that was a tremendous threat to us for many years. 47 years they've been killing our people and killing people from all over the world. And I think we have great support. And I think if we didn't do it first, they would have done it to Israel and give us a shot if that was possible. And if we didn't terminate the worst deal, one of the worst deals ever made, the Obama nuclear deal, I call it the Obama nuclear deal, where he gave everything to Iran, including a nuclear weapon. It was a road to a nuclear weapon. Bad things would have happened 4 years ago because they would have had a weapon 4 years ago if I didn't terminate that deal. So we're in a very strong position now, and their leadership is just rapidly going. Everybody that seems to want to be a leader, they end up dead. And it's an amazing thing that's taking place before your eyes, because for 47 years we were pushed around, and we shouldn't have been. And I think I can say, and you see it as well as I do, you see the tremendous progress that's being made. Their missiles are being wiped out rapidly. Their launchers are being wiped out. They're attacking their neighbors. They're attacking their, in some cases, allies, or not so long ago allies. And, you know, it's really a nation that was out of control, and they would have used it on us if we let them, if we waited any longer. A big factor was Soleimani, the killing of Soleimani in my first term. And maybe the biggest factor was the rebuilding of the military in my first term. And then the B-2s hit the, and I use the word obliterate because it really was, a complete obliteration of their nuclear potential. And that set them back very, very seriously. If we didn't hit within 2 weeks, they would have had a nuclear weapon. If we didn't do the B-2 attack a number of months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon. And when crazy people have nuclear weapons, bad things happen. So we're in very good shape now. I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward.
Well, right now we have Purnima Nath, a politician based in the US, who's joining us here on the broadcast. Good evening to you, Purnima. It's morning here in India, but right now what President Trump seems to be believing, because is this the kind of support that has also come in from the US Senate? Because it has rejected a resolution that aimed at curbing President Trump's authority to continue with its military strikes on Iran.
Thank you so much for having me. Namaste, Jai Hind, and happy Holi. First of all, this is such a serious matter. Everything about President Trump's statement sounds extremely arrogant. It's almost like he can feel what is coming, so he has to strike. I mean, this is almost like without evidence, you can go to a war and pull the entire world to your feet. And then you kind of say that, oh, yes, I felt they are going to do it. But there is no evidence. He has not produced evidence. He has not communicated to the people before going to the war. 4 days before the strike, we had Soto, the State of the Union. He literally projected himself as the peace president, so-called, and somebody who has stopped 8, 10, 11, whatever wars are. Unfortunately, he has not given us any kind of idea what the objective of this war is. And domestically, there are conversations whether it is a war or not. Some of those administration folks are saying it is a war. Some of them are not. President Trump himself said it is a war. And unfortunately, at this point of time, he didn't get the approval from the congressional side. But at the end of the day, as you know, it is actually Republican Party holding. So no matter what, it's going to happen. But the point over here is very concerning from a geopolitical standpoint. So is President Trump in America thinks that they can do anything just because they think somebody is terrorist? Who's defining the labels? The day before yesterday, I mean, from a conversational standpoint, a few years ago, even sanctions were placed on India for nuclear weapon. If you didn't have nuclear weapon, do you think you would have had the opportunity to become a fourth largest economy today, or on the way to third largest economy? Even for Russian oil, I've heard argument from the Indian ministers that America actually said it was okay for buying Russian oil, but at the same time also I asked the question, who's America give you the permission? You should be making the decision for you. What works for you, whether America gives you the permission or not. At the end of the day, we all must ask this question: is it are we living in a world where actually the mighty superpower who has the biggest military, the biggest?
Is President Trump calling the shots? Because that seems to be the question that is now being raised. Because Purnima, indirectly or directly, there are multiple countries who seems to be involved or rather dragged into this conflict that is taking place in the Middle East. I request you to stay on with us.
All right, we have more breaking update coming in. It's with more than 100+ hours of Operation Fury. Remember, it all started on February 28th. And in the last 100+ hours, we're learning that as far as US is concerned, they have deployed 50,000+ troops, 200 fighter jets in action, 2 aircraft carriers that have been stationed, B-1, B-2 and B-52 bombers that have also been deployed as well. Have a look at this video that has been posted by US Central Command.
Well, as far as this particular video is concerned, because it's been now over 100 hours and counting. On the 28th of February, it was when joint strikes that was carried out by Israel and the United States, and it was close to noon here in India when the first report came in of this war that has now escalated in the Middle East. So we'll be getting you a better understanding on how war preparedness on the military front of US is now concerned, that has now taken this escalation to another level. As far as when it comes to the strikes and the retaliation that is now coming from Iran's side, because for Iran, it is Operation, for Israel rather, this is Operation Lion's Roar, but for the US, Akansha, this is Operation Epic Fury.
Absolutely, because it all started 100+ hours ago on February 28th. And here are the visuals on your screen of the action by the United States. 50,000 troops, they're saying, that have been deployed. Many aircrafts that are in action, B-1, B-2 and B-52 bombers that have also been deployed. And as you can see in the visuals here, the focus is on destroying the nuclear capability of Iran, is what the United States has been saying. So it's been more than 100 hours since the entire Operation Epic Fury started, Amita.
All right, but for Iran, this operation is called Operation True Promise 4. Because now it seems that the retaliation that has also in a way intensified, where Iran's IRGC has now said that this is going to be the 19th wave of Operation True Promise 4, the operation that has now begun as a combined missile and drone operation against the US-Israeli positions in occupied territories and the US bases in the region. Because the Gulf nations too have now come under attack, which are the host nations to US military as far as their bases are also concerned, that too have been hit by Iranian missiles and drones. So let's quickly introduce Colonel Utkarsh is back with us in the studios. We also have Captain Akhilesh joining us here in the studios, and Patikrit also continues to be with us. So Captain Akhilesh, what is the understanding that now what we are getting? Iran too has sustained this fight, and not just against US, Israel, but other Gulf nations as well, because it has been making that appeal to the Gulf nations that we know that we are not your enemy and you are not an enemy for us, but in a way that you have provoked us to get into this war because you are friendly with the US.
And you need to understand that, how Iran has sustained this and still they are in no mood of giving up, right? So I think, one of the key miscalculation which was done by US and Israel, that was mostly to do, they realized that, whatever operation was done in Venezuela, they thought maybe it will be as easy in Iran, right? Just eliminate the top leadership, and then you get some protesters, internal disturbance, and change the regime. But if you really see the IRGC, which has got now fundamental role in this entire conflict, they are deep entrenched into the society of Iran. Not only the army, they also have got air force assets, navy assets, and control many things economically also. So it was not easy, though you eliminated the top rank, but it was well structured, and they were kind of decentralized a few years back. So they were able to take on and work on their target irrespective of that. Moreover, what Iran has done, they understand that there is a good defense, air defense available with Israel. So if you really see the difference in the strategy of Iran this time compared to last June, 12 days war, that they are using more drones, missiles over the assets of US, which is in Arab, which is not as much as protected, which was, Israel has got an Iron Dome. But these assets in Arab countries, they are not so well protected. So now they have put the offensive onto the US. Sustaining a war for US is going to be a difficult thing because they are fighting a war 7,000 miles away from their shore. So it's not easy. They have to, though they have got their 2 aircraft carrier, but they have to also protect their assets. And as you rightly say, now these Arab countries, they are also saying why we are getting hit. It's not only hitting 2-3 assets or people, it's their reputational loss. Just see, UAE is the biggest investment hub.
All right. Yes.
And the moment you get that they are not safe, the entire investment is going to shift elsewhere.
Because that is a concern. Who would have thought that these blasts would happen in the middle of Dubai? Purnima, does President Trump even have a plan? Is there an exit strategy?
That's a great question. I don't think he does. According to, based on what I've seen, literally, I'll give you some ideas. The first day, after a few hours of the strike, he came and the administration also came and said that it was for freedom of Iranian people. By the time Saturday went into Sunday, they said it was for obliterating again the Iranian nuclear program. By the time the Monday it came, it says the objective was actually to decapitate the Iranian leadership. Now, in this particular case, there is no objective. Exactly what are they trying to achieve over here? If you have to show that the mighty military of United States can go anywhere, literally kidnap a foreign leader and give some kind of sentences in New York court, this seems to be extremely insulting for the sovereign countries. If we have 195 countries and recognized by UN, the international organization, now you also have IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, who has said there is no evidence of the nuclear weapon. Now you are going over there and saying, I had a feeling, literally Financial Times has written a article over there. President Trump had a feeling that Iran is going to attack. Is this a precedent of a most powerful country? This is how you literally pose yourself and say that this is how this justifies your attack. Now, Iran, in this particular case, even though on Iran, Western countries have put 12,700 sanctions over the last few decades. This country has managed to retaliate to this to the point that today America is also thinking what to do next. Today, if you listen or if you even look at the American media, the Western media, Iran has already finished. It was already finished. America won. Unfortunately, they literally use these the American lives, the troops' lives here as a political brownie point to play politics.
We've also been speaking to a lot of experts, and they are also saying that this was unprovoked war. He does not have any evidence as far as nuclear capabilities are concerned. And now that he has attacked Iran, there's no exit plan by Donald Trump. Stay on with us. In fact, we have a breaking update coming in amid the raging war in West Asia. Australia, Canada they've called for de-escalation. Leaders have urged to end the Iran war. A statement, in fact, has come in from the Canadian Prime Minister. He has said that nukes threat must end, saying that Canada may back the allies if needed. So that's a support that is coming from Canada. They may also enter the war, it seems. But that's the statement that is coming from Canada. Other leaders have also spoken up as far as the raging war in West Asia is concerned. Mark Carney has said that nukes threat must end and Canada may back the allies if needed. Albanese has also said that long-term stability is needed. So that's a statement that is coming from both Canada as well as Australia. Australian Prime Minister has said that in fact, his Canadian counterpart, Mark Carney, has called for a de-escalation in the Iran war following their talks on Thursday. Following the trade-focused talks, both the leaders told the reporters at a press conference that they want to see a broader de-escalation as far as the entire incident and the escalation is concerned.